Right, we're back, guys. The stream's back. I'm loving this.
That is a classic.
Would you look at that? Rise of the Vincel. Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it?
He's a dangerous man. He'll choke you out without you saying a word.
Smoothie is the Rat King.
Oh, but a joke. 'Twas harmless banter.
Are you kidding me?
What you made of my man?
Oh! Yay! Now the game's starting up. Now the game begins. Seems to be alright. Because there's been a couple of lag spikes here. It hasn't been as smooth as it was before, which is probably to do with me having the computer auto-manage the cores now instead of having each core like manually configured like I did. So, I wanted to test that out. So what I've done is first is I've changed the voltage back to what it was, and I've changed to make sure it's not overheating, and I've changed the core management system to do it automatically rather than what I had manually configured. Because I made a note of my settings so I can just revert it back. So we'll see if that provides greater stability. Yeah, XMP is possible as well. I do have the XMP setting on. That'll probably be the next thing I explore. Anyway, fuck it. Let's just see. It'll be in about 10 minutes from now. Between 5 and 10 minutes. So we'll find out. But let's just pretend it isn't happening. Let's watch Vici Gaming and Cloud9. Should be an interesting game within the context of what's been happening. We had Cloud9 get stuffed by Tai Lu, so a little bit of Chinese repeating on them here in the Vici game, and of course Vici Gaming, a lot of people's choice to be 3-0 weren't 3-0, so obviously got their win. This is a nice wraparound by King. Oh, Kaze is fucking crazy, isn't he? But Keo's had a great major so far. Oh, Keo! Oh! Look, I think it was inevitable. I think it was inevitable that eventually you would see one Chinese team. Like, it's inarguably Tai Lu. Like, Tai Lu are gonna get through, and I don't know, man. I think they're a scary team, and I think they'll be scarier in best of threes. Honestly. Because I think then you're going to have to play them on a map that they're adept at, right? You're going to have to play them at something they've worked on. But, I mean, China's too big a region. And this is what I was talking about when we had, like, the CSGO Super League shit get announced and they were running it. And it's just a shame, like, you've got all this corruption and shady shit in the Chinese region. Because they were always going to fucking produce talent. Like, there was no doubt about that. Like, that was always going to happen. Freeman should have got the spot. I don't know about that. I mean, Bled's the regional expert. I defer to his wisdom, but I think like this Tai Lu roster is pretty fucking scary. So. Yeah, and I get it that, Accurate and Bentet are Indonesians, but I mean, they obviously speak Chinese. They've played in, pretty much, well, they've played in all the high-level Chinese teams that have been in the region as it's developed. I mean, they're like honorary Chinese at this point. I mean, Korea, I haven't really followed it, but it's not in... You can go look at the stats for PC Bang games, and CS still hasn't made an impact in South Korea, even if it's gone free to play. They have their, like, weird online version, which I haven't checked if that's still above CSGO like it was. But, I mean, like, in terms of games that are being played there, it's like, I think League of Legends is, like, back to #1. I think Overwatch temporarily dropped to, like, #4. But like FIFA, and to give you an idea about the games that trend over there, like FIFA and Overwatch have been like interchanging in that 3rd place. But yeah, I mean CS:GO isn't has never been a game, and like you judge what people are playing based on the PC bangs in South Korea because that's the culture, right? Like you don't sit at home and play. I mean, you can, but generally a lot of people, especially in the sort of lower middle class bracket, and below, they'll just play at a PC bang because the time's incredibly cheap. There's no like stigma attached to it. It's like considered a social thing. The stigma only really starts kicking in if you start talking about esports, right? Because no Korean parent, no matter what they tell you in the mainstream press, no Korean parent really wants Kishima's done it again, hasn't he? No Korean parent wants their kid to be an esports professional over being a doctor or anything like that. I mean, actually I'd say in terms of parental support, we've become way more progressive in the West, in America and Europe, so isn't esports does esports in Korea have a corruption stigma? I mean, sure, it's not like as bad as China, but yeah, there's been huge match fixing scandals that have rocked the scene. There's people. I mean, like they have a law there. If you code cheats, you can go to prison. And they've also enacted a law where certain elements of a game's terms of service, it's enforceable legally. So. They take it seriously in terms of like trying to stamp out corruption. I'd say a little bit too seriously. I don't like what Korea or China do, honestly. Like China having it tied to like your social credit score or whatever Orwellian bullshit they're running out there. That's terrifying to me. Like cheating a video game and then you can never be sold a plane ticket to fly out of China. That's fucked up. I mean, it's another reason why I'm always super critical of the Chinese government. It's why I don't like the fact that we're just normalizing this shit in esports. You've seen the Cuckoo situation. Cuckoo is literally banned from entering a city in China because he mocked the Chinese language online in a video game. And everybody lied about it and said, oh, no, the government haven't got involved, and the government haven't got this, and the government, it's not a government ban, it's just for this one event. All lies, of course, and the reality is, like, I don't want governments getting involved and banning people from entering the country based on shit talk in a video game. Like, how fucking crazy are we going to let this thing go? And everybody has to... all the big developers aren't going to call it out because they want to sell their games in China. And oh, Flusher, fucking hell, that's a shot. No difference though. Vici back on top. Like China's holding all the leverage, right? Like China's like literally just says to games developers, you want to make money, you want to make big money, you want to sell our games, you want our games approved by the Ministry of Youth and Culture or whatever it is who approve the games for sale on the Chinese version of Steam and all these other stores. You need to partner with a Chinese business, and you need to follow all the Chinese standards and all the Chinese rules, and you can never criticize China. You can... Yeah, I mean, shit, man, like Tencent just put $300 million into buying Reddit. Into funding Reddit and getting a portion of Reddit. Meanwhile, hilariously, Reddit's banned in China. I wonder where that's going. I wonder what the end game there could be. Ooh, a heavily censored version of Reddit, which is already heavily censored, appearing in China to make it look like the Chinese government is lightening up on the wacky Western values of free speech and democracy. And all these tech companies are like, Donald Trump bad, Republicans bad, Article 13 bad, all of these things are bad. And then they turn around and do business with China, who literally censor them. They're fucking hypocrites. It's about money. Do I like the org meta? Yes, a Counter-Strike question to break it up before I start going insane about mainstream games developers and companies' support of China, a government that just stops short of being a tyranny. And again, I'll say all this shit. I have no interest in going there. I don't want Chinese money. I don't care, right? I'll stay true to my principles if that's all the same with you guys. You want to make billions? Cool. It's all good. Let's not pretend it's ethical, though. But anyway, do I like the org meta? I mean, fuck, man. People pissing and moaning about, like, new guns becoming vogue and balance patches. I just think Counter-Strike players really, like, some things are unacceptable. The R8 was unacceptable. The, they've made changes that, like, in the game that, like, fundamentally break the game and it needs to be fucking rolled back. Or taken out altogether, or heavily nerfed, or a hotfix, that's fine. But when you make slight changes to the gun and the meta shifts because a gun becomes viable right now, when pros complain about that in Counter-Strike, I just think, fuck me. Be so grateful you don't play a MOBA professionally. Because I'll tell you this, right? There is a rank hypocrisy in the Counter-Strike player's mindset where they go, why don't you treat us like Dota, Valve? Why don't we get an international? Why don't we get a compendium? Why don't we get all of these cool things? Okay, cool. I accept that. Why indeed? Good questions. But the issue is if you were a Dota pro, you get a patch every 2 weeks that fundamentally changes the game as you know it. You would hate being a Dota pro. Meanwhile, in Counter-Strike, we've been running AK, AWPs, and M4s for 20 fucking years. Hey, what's that? You're the best IO player in the world? Whoopsie, we've just completely remade the hero. Don't worry about it, though. It's only life-changing amounts of money on the line for you. Like, straight up, man. I mean, like, you know, and I admire the adaptability of Dota professionals who you actually, comparatively, very rarely see complain about game changes. You know, they have the occasional Twitter whine, but it's nothing compared to the Counter-Strike pros. Oh, the org, it works now. Oh, God. The game's terrible. This is a Call of Duty gun. I mean, the org was in CS, has always been in CS. Let's not pretend scoped weapons aren't a part of CS history when in beta, the fucking M4 was fucking scoped. So, yeah, stupid arguments, but, you know. So my thought on the org meta is it probably won't last anyway, but also, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to patch it out before the major? When all your practice has been geared around getting used to that meta? Well, no, of course not. That would be fucking dumb as well, right? Yeah, the M4 was... no, the M4 was a scope weapon in beta. Go look it up. The M4 was scoped, and the fucking P90 was 50 bullets of hell that had pretty much the same damage value as the main rifles. And if you thought the P90 was bad back when you started playing Go or whenever, you should have checked out the old school P90 in beta release. That was fucking AIDS. That was turbo AIDS. Do I think fixing the smoke boat before the major will have any effects on results performance? I think the community would really like that to be true, but I don't think it's true. I think Astralis, when you see them play, you know, look, let's be real. How many rounds do you think are won by getting kills through smokes? Like, ultimately, as a percentage? And how many of those kills can be abusable by that bug? That's another. So that's an even lower percentage. You know, anybody who thinks Astralis are winning on that basis isn't really watching the game. It's a fantasy in their mind that they've created because what they want to do is create a narrative that justifies the hatred for them. Happened with the Brazilians. Remember, the Brazilians were all cheats. They were all togglers. Look, oh, it's Vaco. Look, it's Wallen. Back before that, there was that fucking mad conspiracy theory that Fnatic had all got cheats. It wasn't just Flusher. You know, after the Flusher clips, people started looking at Crims. People started looking at Olofmeister. People started looking at JW. Right? Everybody said, oh, look, they're cheating, they're cheating. Whoever's on top, man, the community, they don't appreciate dynastic teams at the time. I mean, this is true of all sports. You don't appreciate the dynastic team at the time. You just hate the fact they win all the time and your team doesn't, right? And then what happens is they get bad, they retire, and then everybody goes, oh, God, I really miss old school Fnatic. Weren't they cool? Yeah, you were fucking saying they should be executed at the time, you fucking hypocritical bitch. What you talking about? That's sports fans in a fucking nutshell. You know, like, what do you think's going to happen in football when Tom Brady finally retires? All these people have been calling him a cheat and an asshole and trying to pretend that Aaron Rodgers is a fucking better quarterback, right? You know, all these degenerates, they're all who hated him and would tweet relentlessly hate about him. 10 years from now, when he's in the Hall of Fame and he's retired and everything, they're all going to be crying, going, oh, God, don't you miss Tom Brady? Wasn't he a great All-American player? Oh, God. God, I miss him so much. I only cry over sports. Like, fuck me, get out, you hypocritical fucks. Like, why is no one capable of appreciating greatness when you actually get to watch it and get to have it? You know, I quickly unfucked my brain. I used to think like this when I was a kid. I was a Newcastle fan in the 90s when Man United were pretty much the reason that we didn't win a title. And you know, there was definitely arguments to be made about certainly the referees seem to favor big teams, and you can go look at the statistical data, and Man United definitely did get some dubious penalties, definitely had like some added phantom minutes or Fergie time as it was called. But what you have to understand is, like, Ferguson was like a Belichick. He created an atmosphere where everyone was so fucking terrified of criticism from Ferguson, right, that he created something outside of the pitch that could be a winning factor for him. He was also a tactical genius, one of the greatest man motivators that football's ever had, and he had an eye for talent like no other. So, I mean, you know, great coach, great team. And what I quickly realized was, when I put my hate to one side and shelved the hate for Man United and realized, just like how it had been Liverpool before them, it was a phase and it wouldn't last forever. You know, who doesn't prefer, by the way, the Man United team of the 90s that everybody hated compared to the Man City of today with their millions and their, you know, Emirati money? You know, Man United were kids, organically grown. The Beckhams, the Scholes, the fucking Nicky Butts. You know, like they had a fucking team that they raised from local lads, Salford and you know, real working class areas. Beckham doesn't count. He was obviously from London originally, but like, wasn't that fucking better? Yeah, the Nevilles, exactly. Here we go. Wasn't that better? You know, Giggsy, the Welsh boy. Wasn't that a much better team, an easier team to love looking back than a Man City team that spent, I don't know, more money than God to assemble? And I've got respect for Man City on the same principle. I don't hate Man City, but the point is, everybody hated that United team. And you look back and you go, Jesus Christ, like, everybody on that lineup is pretty much like a fucking Premier League Hall of Famer, and a lot of them were generated for local talent, homegrown players. You won't see anything like that again. So, this is what I mean. When you're in the moment and you're watching greatness like you are with Astralis, pull your head out your fucking ass and realize what you're looking at. Because you're going to be one of those fucking idiots 2 years from now going, man, do you remember that great Astralis lineup? God, I miss those guys. Wouldn't it be great if we could get them all back together for one show match and get Zonic back behind them coaching like the good old days? You'll think of the time that you hate right here, right now, as a good old day. It'll happen to you. And also as well, right, there's this other thing, cumulative, right? Like when you hand down genius through the ages, okay? So when Fnatic were out with Pronax, what did we all say? Wow, I've never seen a team like this. This makes NIP look like fucking clown shoes. NIP played in an era that wasn't really competitive, but look at the teams Fnatic are beating. Look at their tactical system. Look how they went to the next level when they picked up Crimson Olaf from LGB. Where have they found these players? Like, this is Swedish Counter-Strike at its best. Look at what they're doing. And everybody was like, wow, you'll never see Counter-Strike this good again. Then Fallen assembles his fucking Brazilians, and he says, all right, check this shit out. Makes these brutal cuts to establish Brazilian players, brings in a fucking unknown player called Coldzera, who everybody at the time was like, why is he picking up this guy? No one's even heard of this guy beyond him being a prospect in the region. Fallen stands by it, says Coldzera is the player to take us to the next level. 100% right. Fallen a fucking genius, undisputed. And then we start looking at that team and we go, holy fucking shit, this makes Fnatic look like fucking clown shoes. And everyone starts watching the SK demos and the Luminosity demos, and everyone starts getting better based on the improvements they're making to the game. And then they drop off, right? And then we start entering into this Astralis era that we've got now via a way of a brief little Fnatic thing at the start of the year, before the Astralis era really started to kick off. And now you look at what they're doing with their utility usage and their clinical employment of smokes and flashbangs and Molotovs, and how it's all the highest statistically in terms of efficacy. And people watch those demos and everybody gets better. A rising tide raises all ships. So the team that comes along that's going to put Astralis to bed is going to have the benefits of the Fnatic dynasty, of the fucking Luminosity SK dynasty, of the Astralis dynasty. And the next team that comes along is probably going to be unfucking real. Astralis are overrated. Get the fuck out with that shit, Nice Tana. What are you talking about? They are the ultimate team. They are the greatest team CSGO has ever seen. The end. The end. Like, you can't really believe that they're overrated, dude. What, you think I'm a fanboy? I just know good Counter-Strike when I fucking see it. Fanboy implies that if they were losing, I'd still be, like, trying to create a narrative that they're a really good team. Like, ooh, I don't know, fucking FaZe fans? Like Cloud9 did, coming out of the major. Oh, well, you know what it's like, man. When you win a major, there's always going to be a little drop-off because of fatigue and exhaustion, but they're going to get it back. Skadoodle's still good. I bet you're one of those bitches. Put your money where your mouth is, Nice Tano. Tell me what team you support so I can have a good fucking laugh about whether or not your team is fucking overrated. Let's do it. Come on. You're part of the stream now. There's no guests, just you and me. I'm waiting for it. Astralis won't win this major. Hey, yeah, but I mean, okay. First of all, brother, right? You're saying they're overrated. I don't know how the greatest team of all time can be overrated, but okay. I mean, they're hands down. I mean, even if you don't believe they're the greatest of all time, which sure that can be a subjective argument, they're easily the greatest right now. But how many times has the favorite team not won the major? It's happened more often than not. I don't. Realistically, I don't know who it's gonna be that beat them, because it certainly isn't going to be FaZe. I mean, I said on an episode of By the Numbers that I thought FaZe could get to the final. No chance. Not when Nico's in-game leadership. Like, I just feel so sorry for Yanko. Yanko really has got the cursed monkey paw, you know, from from the old tales, where he's like going, "Yes, I would like to be a coach of a top team, please. Congratulations, we're gonna make you coach of MIBR. Unknown to you, Fallen is secretly plotting against you and won't listen to any of your tactical implementations, and they will massively underperform on your watch, and yet you'll get all the blame, Yanko." Well, don't worry, I got 2 more wishes left on this monkey paw, no problem. After the whole MIBR debacle, I'd really like to go coach another top team, preferably with one of my friends. Yes, we will put you on phase, Yanko, and it will be at the height of Nico's towering Jesus frenzy, where he believes he is better than God and a tactical mastermind, and he won't listen to you, and your friendship won't count for anything. Ha 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 ha. 1 wish left, fucker. Yeah, Yanko's having a fucking terrible time. He's gonna be back on the fucking desk in 6 months, saying, like, he's gonna look everybody in the eye as an analyst, saying, "Yeah, okay, let's just not bring up my fucking coaching career." It's not even his fault. It reminds me a little bit, like, you know, when Gary Neville fucking went to Spain and he managed that fucking team. Who was it? Was Zaragoza or Valencia? No, yeah, was it Valencia? Yeah, Valencia, right? Okay. So, yeah, it was just a nightmare. And it's like everybody was saying, "Oh, Gary Neville, good pick. He's been an expert. He's proven himself on the desk. Big opinions, tactical insight. I mean, he's definitely the guy to go do it." Horrific record. Valencia, a great Spanish team, absolutely fucking terrible on his watch. And then he's got to come back to fucking Sky Sports after he gets fired, look everybody in the eye and go, "No, I really do know what I'm talking about. I just can't practically apply it for some reason." Almost as if there's some complexities to management, a bit beyond the minutia, the nuts and bolts, the X's and O's, right? I mean, look what happened to Thierry Henry, for fuck's sake. Getting banged out of the French Cup by League 2 sides. Anyway, I don't want to tempt fate. I'm touching some wood right now. But it looks to have stabilized. So I guess what it reset was my core management system, which is weird. So I'll go in and tweak it because I imagine performance isn't optimal. Let me know if there's any lag spikes or anything on the stream, and I'll try and tweak it on the fly. Hopefully the graphics are good enough for you all. So yeah, Witty, if you want to jump on, buddy, you're more than welcome. It is like literally just me until fucking Sam turns up. And then we got 2-Tap Tony coming in for the Greyhound games. So. Oh, wrong window. There you go. Am I streaming casting the Major Final? Dude, we're going to go every day, even through tech problems. We'll battle on, and we're going to do the No Majors Club like we did it last time. We're going to do it in a good cause, get those Twitch Primes together, get that money together. Like I say, for the next week, I got a bunch of like players coming on who aren't at the Major. Well, players who've agreed to come on and do a few games here and there. Some big names, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself by announcing them. Hex knows he's always welcome. Obviously, it's a little bit less interesting for him this time around, but Mo, I already reached out to him. He knows he can come on anytime. He's really going hard on Apex Legends right now. Yo, the Mo streams were some of the fucking highlights, I thought. From last time. Steel's coming on as well. So, I mean, these are guys that I feel comfortable announcing because they've, like, they don't have any other commitments. But yeah, you know, it'll be like last time. There'll be some big names, some surprises, some old schoolers, some new schoolers. That's how we're doing it. Did I play Apex? I played it twice, and I was just like, can I get excited about having to learn yet another fad BR? And I was like, you know what? No, I fucking can't. I can't do it. I played 2 games. I dropped. I look at the big ol' ass ugly maps. I fucking punched a guy to death in one game, and then got fucking wrecked. And then in the other game, I got a gun, and then lost my first duel, and I just thought, fuck it. Witmer's in the Discord. Awesome. Let's bring him in. Ahoy, ahoy.
Good morning, Rich.
How you doing, buddy? You all good?
Yes, sir.
Up bright and early. I like it. Got to get that cheddar.
It's Valentine's Day, so I had to squeeze.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that. The fake holiday invented to make you fucking part with all your money. Good times.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
It was a good run. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, I'm alright, buddy. A few tech problems this morning, but we're in there now. I'm doing better than fucking Cloud9, right? I mean...
You're not wrong, brother.
Yeah.
What is going on, man?
Well, I'm hoping you can give me some insight. You ought to fucking play. You want to know? Here's a question for you, brother, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rush. What is up with him, man? Like, have they, like, changed the way they use him or something? Because when he came out of that Optic lineup and first went to Cloud9, I was like, Rush is the best all-rounder in NA. It was sort of...
Right.
Yeah, before, like, Automatic really kind of occupied that space. But he's been really bad, even in this, like... Even in this European lineup where I thought he'd have a bit more room. And
I think it's actually the opposite. I think he's being forced to overcompensate a little bit. Although I really haven't seen it. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I watched one round, like, of this game, and they had full nades, and they did a bracket take with 2 flashes. Like, it was really lazy. Like, it's almost like something is off. I think Rush is probably the best, like, one of the best anchors or / all rounders in NA. But I've never seen him playing this poor this consistently. He's generally very consistent, even if his team isn't good.
Yeah, and this is when they brought Zelzis in, I was like, well, it's clear what's going on here, right? It's like it's the classic bring in the young unproven player, and he's going to be like the water carrier for the team, and he's going to shut the fuck up, and he's going to like it because he's got a great opportunity. And that was when I thought I'd see Rush like spring back to life, right? But like imagine a world where out of this lineup, it's Kiyashima that is like stepping up and meeting like, I mean, generally meeting like Automatic where they need to be to get them through games.
Right. He was hitting 4.
Yeah.
But does it apply here against Vici Gaming, the major?
I'll be honest. When are people going to learn not to play the Chinese on Inferno?
For real.
Like, just fucking...
It's been years.
Yeah, just get it out, man. It's their favorite fucking map. Like, I wonder how many times Vici have fucking... I should check out their stats, actually, what their win rate is. I bet it's high, right?
Yeah, surely. But, I mean, the thing is that C9's not doing what they normally do. This doesn't look like them. Like, I don't know if it's a disrespect thing or if it's, like, a shook thing, but I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this one.
Yeah. I'm sure Vac Sucks will be making a thread about it, how it's all a giant psyop, and because Valve want to do business in China, they are rigging the games at the major to enable Chinese teams to win and progress. And everyone's in on the conspiracy, including you, me. You know, we all know about it. Yeah, Cloud9, obviously. Like, you watch, Flusher will put out a tweet, and everyone will be like, it's code, he's trying to tell us something. Man, Vac Sucks. There's a fucking, there's a subreddit if you ever want to see some of the most pathetic specimens. Dude, check out, I haven't even looked at what the top posts are, but
let's look top all time.
It's basically like flat earthers for Counter-Strike. It's insane. Oh, yeah.
They got Waylander up here.
Obviously a cheater, right? One of the most inconsistent, notorious underperformers. 100% cheating. Yeah. the VODs are going to go up on YouTube, Hoodie AU. And you're an Australian fan, so I hate you by default, by the way. After the Greyhound incident, you've all been tarred with the same brush. Take your shoeies and put them up your ass. But yeah, the VODs will go on YouTube as soon as my media team, yeah, do it. Yeah, even the New Zealand boys. Let's be real, by the way, New Zealand, what have you really got other than the fact that Lord of the Rings was fucking filmed there and you've got more sheep than humans, which probably leads to some questionable sexual practices. So, yeah, I mean, come on, guys, let's be real. All right, okay, yeah, those All Blacks are pretty good. All right, you win that round. You win the rugby round. All right. But other than that,
He got mad quick.
yeah, you got to be careful with them, dude.
That was quick.
Yeah, that is true. All the good that was achieved for New Zealand with the Lord of the Rings movie was undone by the Hobbit fucking trilogy.
Damn shame.
Man, I hate the main dude as well. What's his name? Martin Freeman or whatever.
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
Such a disservice, man. Such a disservice to what it could have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, it's K's going up. Oh, no. The smoke's done him, though. Yeah, unlucky.
That's what it takes, though.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. They don't 1v4.
He's a fucking legend, this K's guy, right? Like, straight up, I don't know where the fuck they found this dude, but he's a fucking beast.
All of their sensitivities are so high. How are you consistent? They're insane.
Yeah, I think that's like a weird sort of part of the like Asian sort of style. Like I remember seeing it with the Koreans as well way back in the day. Like even in 1.6 with We Made Fox, generally their configs seem to be like a little bit more high sense oriented. Like it's kind of interesting.
I wonder why that is. Maybe it's like some sort of like pool from another game or game type.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I remember a lot of the original, like, Swedes and the very first sort of breakout, like, Counter-Strike players. A lot of them came from, you know, Quake and those kind of, like, the dueling shooters. So I don't know if that's part of it, because obviously that game didn't really take off in Asia, as far as I'm aware. Although Duncan would be the authority on that, having been a writer for ES Reality back in the day. Along with Carmack, funnily enough, both... even though those guys can't stand each other, or used to not be able to stand each other. Both from the same website and both from the same scene. Yeah, there you go, Scootsy. Why aren't you in this fucking Discord with us, Scott? Yeah, watching my fucking stream. And lurking. But yeah, if you want to jump on, brother, you know how to find it. I'll keep an eye out for you. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like, Duncan's the authority on the history of Quake and kind of the migration. Like, I remember being told that Forrest was, like, a really good Quake player.
I could see it. His aim is so smooth.
Yeah, like...
Probably the GOAT, right? Like, all CS's.
Yeah, I think if you measure all Counter-Strike, I mean, because this is the thing, like, everyone will just say, well... Nice. Everyone will just say that you don't include Source.
Yeah. I think that's. I mean, even if that was the case, like, who are the best Source players? You know, like Shoxy, Existence, and they're still not in the conversation. Just off results.
Yeah, it's true.
What is going on?
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious what happened with fucking Spell, and obviously not him getting wrecked with the contract, but the fact that the CEO made the fucking joke, the KNG line, prove it or I'll kill you, and he got banned by Twitter for making death threats. Got absolutely fucking shat on.
Never lucky.
Yeah, man, that was hilarious. I'm guessing Twitter never got the memo about the Counter-Strike meme, prove it or I'll kill you, right? Like, Jack didn't get that one.
Someone linked Jack KNG's Twitter. Of a fucking field day.
Not watching Greyhound? What, has it started? Has the Greyhound game started with Fnatic? Is that on?
Let me see.
Yeah, check that for me. Oh, God.
It sure is. 2-3 rounds in.
Oh, shit. Well, I better get 2-tap Tony in here, because that's a promise I got to honor, so...